Hey, I'm Annabelle. I'm a huge nerd, and I started my business Modular Realms making magnetic double-sided dungeon tiles.
Ooh, and I'm Kate. I discovered poi when I was in a circus. I loved how it felt, and I did my PhD studying its effects on health. And now I run a company, Spin Poi, that works with poi as a therapeutic tool. And today, we're talking about
Our journeys from student to business owner.
What is your business?
My business is making magnetic dungeon tiles. So for anyone that doesn't know Dungeons and Dragons, it's a tabletop role-playing game. So it's a game basically where a bunch of friends sit around the table. There's usually a narrator that starts to tell a story, and everyone sitting around the table is playing a character, and you go on adventures together, you solve problems. What I make are the dungeon tiles. So you often go into battles and you have little mini figures, and you often want to know, where they're standing and what's going on. So you can build up an environment like that. You can make walls to stick on it. The magnets spin in the sockets, so they auto-rotate, so it can be in, any position. I design them, work with a manufacturer to get them made, and then I sell them through my online store. And when I'm releasing a new product or something, I have a Kickstarter so that I can afford the molds or the steel tools to get it done. And what's your business?
My business is rooted in poi. So poi is Maori, the indigenous people of New Zealand, a Maori tonga or treasure. It's essentially a ball and a cord. It's like super simple, but not simple, sort of also profound. I learned how to do it when I was in a circus, and I just loved the way that it felt.
That's so cool to me.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you're in a circus.
Yeah, then I just realized it could help a lot of people, but I was having trouble bringing it to places like hospitals and aged care facilities because there wasn't this kind of clinical research on it, even though there's all this Mataranga Māori knowledge. So I did my PhD studying its effects on health, and now mainly a service-based business, so I mainly train people in how to work with poi as a therapeutic tool. So it's really everybody from teachers and physiotherapists, psychotherapists, people working in mental health, hospitals, aged care, all kinds of people who want to work with poi to improve quality of life for their clients.
That's so badass. That makes me real happy.
Hooray for our businesses!
So how did you get into poi?
I saw someone in the circus that I was in doing poi. It wasn't part of the circus. He just knew how to do it. And it didn't really interest me at first. It looked kind of boring. I was doing all this like high flying, flying stuff, living on the edge. And I was like, oh, that's just spinning the thing around like meh. But I just slowly became intrigued, and I also had an injury. I tore my rotator cuff at some point.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah, so I did become curious about it, and I was limited by my injury and what I could do. And so I just gave it a try, and like the second that I started spinning it around, I was like, this feels so awesome. Like I didn't know anything about it. Just felt really like meditative but engaging and relaxing, and that's how I first learned about poi. What prompted you to think about making these tiles?
So when I came to New Zealand, I moved here to do my PhD. I was making antibiotics for tuberculosis. I'm a chemist, or was a chemist. And I was like, into New Zealand, no one knows me. I can sort of find my own, like if I'm going to make friends, I might as well make nerdy friends.
Totally.
So I joined some D&D clubs. I'm the dungeon master, so I'm the person that builds the story, narrates the world, and sort of facilitates the game. And I just started making stuff on my own. And then the thing that really catalyzed me to go from student to doing this, I was in a car crash and whacked my head, and I had a brain injury. I had to take some time off from my PhD, and while I was doing it, I couldn't read, I couldn't watch TV, it was so boring. So the one thing that I could do was make things with my hands. It was like the spatial part of my brain wasn't affected so much. I just started creating things and putting my like everything I had into it because it was the thing I could do.
Yeah.
And it just sort of kept growing from there. And then when the business was actually becoming a business, I thought, do I want to go back to my PhD? I found something that was really very special to me, and I just decided I wanted to keep pulling on that thread.
I don't know, that's just such a like strong example of when something just creates this unexpected space in your life.
Yes. It's weird because the brain injury was awful in very many ways, and it's left me with lasting, I guess you'd call them disabilities, things that I can no longer do, or limits that are on my life. But I still think in a way the brain injury was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It really set me on a path of adventure and discovery, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I never intended to start a business either. I think it sort of happened similar to you. I did my PhD. I knew I wanted to do it on poi because I knew that poi could help a lot of people. And that's like as far as my thinking went. So I just, upped my life and moved to New Zealand because poi started here.
Makes sense.
Did that research, and I had absolutely no plan afterwards. And I basically didn't start a business until it was like hitting me over the head that I was already running a business. Like, I didn't think of it that way at all. I was just finishing my research, and then I thought, oh, okay, how would this work with seniors, like in an aged care facility? I'll just go there. I didn't know anything about market research. I was just following what I thought made sense.
Yes.
It's like, I'll just go there and try it and see what would people need to support them in doing this. And then I was getting asked to give workshops. It's like, okay, I'll just go there and, see what resonates with people. And then it wasn't until I entered one of those entrepreneurial competitions at the University of Auckland, and I had to have a company in order to accept the prize money.
Oh!
And that's the only reason I incorporated.
Nice.
It. And that was one of the best things that I ever did, obviously, because it was the beginning of taking this seriously as a business, separating myself a little bit from it. And it just kind of shifted my thinking from academic to entrepreneur, and I had to consider all those questions about, my relationship to money and all the things. So
all the things. How did you learn to business?
Okay, I would not say that I know how to business. First off,
maybe we should make that clear. We're very much in our journey. We're not. We haven't completed our journey.
Yeah, never will.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Never will.
I hope not.
It all has happened very organically. So sometimes when I go back and give presentations to students who want to be entrepreneurs or people interested in business, and I hear like some of the content, and it's like, they're like making the business plans and like doing all the things, and I'm just like, I never did any of that.
I made my first proper business plan like 3 months ago.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. Why did you make it?
Well, I thought I'd probably better do a course in business.
Did you actually?
Yes.
That's so funny. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, actually a whole bunch. It was really useful. Yeah.
I did have support, especially through the University of Auckland. I did have like a year in an incubator, but it felt more like conversations with a mentor, just about what was going on. I guess I still feel that way. It's like, if you're learning by doing, you're in the thick of it. You're just doing the things, and you're working out what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
And I talked to a ton of people. I had like this huge run of asking random people to have a coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, not random people who were doing something related to what I wanted to be doing, who were running a business, and just like talking with them.
Yeah.
I read a ton of books along the way, not all on business necessarily, some just on working on yourself or other aspects that fed into it. I guess long story short, doing things and talking to people.
Yeah. I think it was kind of similar for me. So I started in 2020, and right at the start when it was like, before we knew.
Yeah.
But it was when people were asking me and going, can I buy this? Can you sell it? Like, And I thought, well, if I am going to give it a go, I kind of need to learn how to.
Yeah.
And really luckily, the university was doing a summer program, a 4-week program that they call Summer Lab. It genuinely changed my life forever, which is nuts to say about a 4-week program, that it literally changed my life forever. And I'm not talking about it did teach you how to do a cash flow and how to do a forecast and all of that. To be honest, that wasn't necessarily the learning that I got from it.
Yeah.
I think the learning I got from it was when you had to go out and just ask people things and just talk to people. Basically, they forced you to step way outside your comfort zone and just do things.
Yeah.
And it was amazing when I was doing things that it actually happened and worked. And like, I never thought that I had the power to do this.
Yes.
Like,
that's the feeling I got as well. I think everything that I got from all those meetings in the university was actually just the vote of confidence.
yes.
That was the turning point for me. As other people actually believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they believe that I can do it.
Yes. Oh, God, that's something that I really have learnt. Because a lot of people say, oh, you just need to believe in yourself. I don't think so. I kind of think that's bollocks because I never believed in myself.
Yeah, same.
I just assumed that I was going to fail. But other people believing in me, that was enough. And I feel like now my thoughts are that if you can't believe in believing in yourself is best. But if you can't believe in yourself, being surrounded by other people who believe in you is enough.
Absolutely. That's part of what I try to do with Spinpoi, actually, is a lot of times people, they have all the knowledge and the skills they already need, but they need someone who they believe in or who inspires them to say that they believe in them.
Yes. Yeah.
And then suddenly they're just empowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that 4-week course. Then the rest of it was just me learning by doing.
Yeah.
A lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
Lot
Yeah.
of YouTubing.
Oh, yeah.
How
Constantly.
to do X, Y, Z.
Same. Yeah.
Like most of what I learnt was just through Google or YouTube.
Same.
And I think just making a lot of mistakes.
I was gonna say that. Google, YouTube, and mistakes.
Yeah, those are the 3 key, I don't know, founding stones, whatever it's called. Yeah.
How old is your business, and how has your business model evolved over its lifespan?
So my business is coming up to 4 years now. It will.
Nice.
It's like 3.5, 3 3/4.
Yeah.
I answered this in an interview last year and I accidentally missed out a year. And I don't know, I've been feeling real bad about that ever since.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yes, now's your chance to redeem yourself.
Yes. I made a mistake, guys. I forgot there was an extra year in COVID. But yeah, I started with having a Kickstarter because I was doing a physical product.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything, so my first Kickstarter allowed me to afford a whole bunch of 3D printers, so I could print a bunch of the first terrain.
Yeah.
And then my second Kickstarter allowed me to get steel tooling for proper injection molded pieces.
Nice.
So at the start, my model was sort of do Kickstarter, get the product out, design next Kickstarter, do Kickstarter, product out. And over the last year, I've opened my online store. So my business model changed to selling through the online store. And then I'm going to be doing another Kickstarter. So it'll be a sort of mix between Kickstarter for the new products and then online store for selling, you know, the things that people like.
Yeah.
Hey.
Solid.
And what's yours? And well, how long ago did you start?
Spinpoi turned 4 a couple months ago.
Hey!
So we're in a similar place. The first thing I ever made was just like a PDF that was a dump of the knowledge that I had about how to do poi, specifically working with seniors. Because I wanted to give the aged care facilities, like after I left, I wanted to give them something so that they could keep going.
Yes.
And then I guess those kind of digital products and services just started expanding over time. So I started working with other populations, like working with kids and Parkinson's and other special populations, and then also expanding like what they were. So there's still PDFs. That like original kernel is still there, just like 5 times longer than it was at the start, and hopefully looking better as well. But now there's like video series and songs, and so I have like expanded that digital stuff. But my bread and butter is services and mainly training courses. So that just started really slowly because people kept getting in touch with me around the world saying, do you know someone who teaches poi in like Bolivia or whatever? And I was like, no, I don't. Or even if I did, I didn't know if they would be if they knew how to teach poi to that specific population. So a lot of times it was someone working in a hospital or aged.
Yeah.
So it's like they might know how to do poi, but they might not know how to do that with someone who has certain limitations and challenges. So I realized there was a demand for these poi instructors, but there was no kind of training around how to do poi specifically in this health well-being field. So I thought I could teach people that. And then I had this real like imposter syndrome thing of, can I be the like organization that trains people in how to do this? And like, shouldn't there be some other, but like there is no one. I am the expert. Like Spin Poi is the expert in this field. It's like, who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
So now I have like a full certification course. I have certified instructors working across 5 continents, actually.
Wow. That's insane.
I still do other stuff, like some researchy stuff and other bits and bobs. You know how it is. There's like a million things going on. But
always.
Yeah, that's kind of that.
You've got to have at least 8 or 9 pans in the fire.
I agree. Because a couple of them will literally be on fire. About to like blow up in flames.
So true.
What is your day-to-day life like?
Very different every day.
Yeah, no kidding.
So in general, the sort of tasks I do is, I might just say what I do over a week because it spreads out on different days.
Yeah.
All the, replying to customers, organising if something's got lost in the post, contacting the shipping companies and all of that. I might be working on my website because my goodness, it needs some work.
Always.
I feel.
Yeah.
I try to write a blog post every fortnight, so I'll usually be doing that. Taking pictures for social media, in fact, painting terrain and then taking pictures for social media. Yeah. Making painting videos and things to help teach people. Sometimes I'll be doing things like finance or accounting. Editing, of course, if you're doing videos. Man, editing, that's a thing, isn't it? Yes. There's a whole bunch more that I'm forgetting. But
I know there's actually, when you were listing things, I was like, that's a lot of things. And I was like, it's probably not even
that's not even a third.
Things.
I'm just real bad at remembering.
Yeah, me
listing.
too. I was thinking you're so good at remembering. When you were like going, I was like, am I going to be able to remember that many things?
No, I'm just able, because there's so many that I'm able to pick what seems like a lot.
I think I'm doing all of those same things. I'd say customer support. That's like not how I think of it in my mind. This feels like a very official term, but answering emails.
Yeah.
People have a lot of questions. I do a lot of video calls with people who just are like, hey, I'm thinking about wanting to do poi in this way. And I just like have like a little chat with them. Also, things breaking.
Yeah.
Back end things.
Yes.
Orders, exploding, like...
Yeah, why is that thing not working?
Exactly.
How do I fix it?
Why did I go to spinpoi.com and it took like 20 seconds to load the homepage?
Yes.
So, damage control, I would say. All the back-endy things like finance things and getting things set up in the CRM and whatever.
Yeah.
Social media things. Applying for grants. I still end up applying for grants because they come up and I think that's a great opportunity, and then like 20 hours later I'm like, why am I doing this again? And then I just have all these random projects that just come in that I never know. Like, for example, right now I'm working with the Kidney Society and I'm filming a video series with them on exercises that people in all stages of kidney disease can do with poi. So it's like cool. Projects like that just kind of like come in, I do them. And like prepping for speaking, I do a lot of like conferences or going back to the University of Auckland or whatever, giving talks. And every single one of those times, you've got to prepare your stuff again. Like, it's like sort of the same stuff, but sort of not. Is that all the things? Trying to upskill in general, but that happens naturally, I think. A new project comes in and it's like, oh, now I need to learn how to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realised a big one that I missed from my list is finding and working with suppliers and manufacturers.
Yeah.
So finding people that will make magnets to my specification, my strength and size.
Yeah.
And that, I like to have them made in a company that I would be happy to support. Getting packaging designed, organised. With the manufacturing, like finding a manufacturer, then working with them, negotiating the next production run.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch. And in between that, I like to try and design new things.
Right? The capacity to actually make new things, it's challenging when the upkeep takes such a big chunk of time.
Yes.
Yeah. I've almost made a physical product multiple times over the past 4 years. So I've done like all the parts of that journey. It's just I didn't end up with a physical product to show.
You did all the walking, but you never got the badge at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, where is the business now? And I should say we're filming in January 2024.
True.
So where is the business right now?
Where is the business right now? That's a good question. Physically, it's in my bedroom in Auckland, New Zealand. Where is it? I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's in the zone of being a huge failure, and other times it seems like the most successful thing ever. But essentially, I'm focused on growing the base of instructors. Mm-hmm. So this year I did an experiment and I did a ton of traveling. And by this year I mean last year, because it just became a new year. Last year I did a ton of traveling. I wanted to experiment with, can I take these facilitation courses
on the road,
anywhere? And so I went to like Australia, Bali, Canada, US, like all within 6 months. It was a good learning. Financially, it was, but I'm glad that I did that and just figured out I could actually do this from anywhere if I wanted to. So now I'm kind of recalibrating. I didn't really plan for what happens after that. I just did that, and then I was like, that's a later problem, and now it's later. So I'm...
oh, gosh. I do that all the time, where I'm like, that's a problem for future Annabelle. And then I'm like, you.
Yeah, that. So I'm waiting for a few grant applications to see the outcome of those, which might shape the next 6 months. And also continuing to run training courses, so I have one of those coming up soon.
So for the past year, I've been working on my website and like trying to make it better, doing a lot of the maintenance-y stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be continuing with that a bit for the start of this year, but also I'm going to be working on designing some new things.
Yay!
Which I'm really looking forward to, because since the second Kickstarter, pretty much my time has been on fulfilling that, and then getting the website up, and even things like just teaching myself website design.
Totally.
It takes a lot of time. And teaching yourself accounting, even teaching yourself video editing.
I know.
So I did a bunch of upskilling and just making stuff better last year. And now I get time to design some new things.
Yes.
I can't
Can you tell us about the new things, or is it a secret?
Oh. I'll leave some things a secret for when we're doing the next Kickstarter, but there's a bunch of new terrain surfaces, and I'm going to be working on doors, windows, things that can actually make it properly unique, and stuff that you can easily customize it to make, with the same pieces, wildly different rooms, so you only have to carry, store half as much.
Amazing. Oh, I don't like this question.
Oh, God.
It's not that scary. I think I'm just insecure. Where do you want to be in 2 years?
2 years. Oh, man, I really should have thought about this.
Yeah, I didn't think about it either.
God damn it, Annabelle.
I know.
Let's work through this. So 6 months, I want to have my Kickstarter. I want to have my new production line. I want to be selling to retailers.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
That would be so cool. The idea of being able to go into a gaming store and see my thing on the shelf. So getting it with retailers, and hopefully those two things should get me a whole bunch of income that means that I can employ someone, even if it's just part-time, to do some of the marketing, social media, employ an accountant.
Yeah.
Maybe even employ someone like part-time or whatever to do some of the web upkeep.
Yeah.
Basically, start offloading onto other people. So then that would be next year. And then the year after, I would therefore theoretically have more time to be designing new things. So I can start putting more product out more quickly and going to conventions. And I'd like next year to start going to conventions in different countries.
Yes.
So maybe go to PAX in the US, something like that. So hopefully 2 years' time, the business will be a lot more, what's it called? Where it's
self-sustaining?
Yeah, self-sustaining. And a whole bunch of the jobs will be, shared out among multiple people.
And you'll have more time and space to focus on the bits that you love.
Which is all the designing and things.
Yes.
So then I can start really expanding. And depending on how well it goes, the more money I have, the more I can use different techniques, different machines, and start to go a bit crazy and do like some real interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I learn how to do electronics.
Ooh.
Oh gosh, that's been one that's been sitting in the back of my mind for like a year, 2 years now.
I feel like I have a very like uninspired answer, but I feel quite lost at the moment, to be completely honest.
That's fair. I mean, that's where I was a year ago. So
I think it does come in waves.
For sure.
And like one thing can often change it all.
Yes.
Like some opportunity comes in and then suddenly you're on a totally new path.
Yeah, like the grant applications you put in.
Yeah.
One could come back that suddenly changes everything and you're like, oh wow, this is huge. I've got this and this. And suddenly you've got more than you can actually get
It's
through.
always like that.
It's like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really hard for me to envision. I know, like, how can you get there if you don't know where you're going? Like, I understand.
I never know where I'm
I
going.
never know where I'm going either. And I think maybe for now I'm okay, like, not being able to get there. So I'm just going to stay the course with, like, my training courses. And I'd like it to just be... I'd like to figure out a way to have a bigger reach. Because right now it feels still like a little bit of a struggle. Like, I've been in sort of the same space with Spinpoi for a couple years. So something needs to change in order to keep growing, but I'm just not sure what yet. And I have so many ideas. It's not a lack of ideas. It's just like, which one to move on, when, does it require capital? Like, there's just so many factors, and like for now, not one isn't jumping out to me as like, this is the way. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like still.
Honestly, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Because that there's so much potential to just follow what's cool. You're not tied up specifically. If an opportunity comes, you're ready.
Totally.
And
I think it's important to appreciate all the phases. Like at the beginning, I spent a lot of time dreaming about, if Spinpoi reaches this size or that, it's going to be so great. But then, when I speak to other business owners who have a lot of employees and the company has really grown, they often tell me they really miss the beginning phase when they had all this autonomy and less responsibility and they could pivot faster and everything was really exciting and new. And I think every phase is going to have different challenges.
Yes.
So whatever phase I'm in, I'm like, let's appreciate this one.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's really hard and it feels shit. But like in general, I'm like, let's appreciate this for what it is because it might never be like this again.
Yeah.
The more that we continue to grow and whatever.
Yeah. Oh, what would be your pie in the sky dream?
Oh,
like, let's say money's not an object. Let's say you have the best luck in the world. Something just amazing happens. Or you can just dream.
All that I actually want to do in Spinpoi and anything else is like help people. And I feel like if I didn't have the financial burden of like trying to make ends meet, I could actually just go wherever I was most needed. This sounds like really weird all of a sudden. But like that would be my dream, to be like, where can I do the most good and to just be able to go. Like
and just
be of service. Like that sounds so It sounds like I'm trying to say something nice, but that's actually what I feel.
No, I get it, because I kind of feel it's weird to say that when I've got a commercial business selling a product, but I feel that call to try and do good. I kind of have quite a strong feeling that the world's not amazing, really, a lot of the time. But I feel like it's almost our duty to make the world better for the generation that comes next.
Yeah.
And just try and ensure in some way that the baton we pass on is just a little bit lighter for them.
Yeah.
And so the wanting to do good and try and change things and make things better, I really feel that, to be honest.
Yeah.
So...
Not sure I can, do you have, something specific in mind when you think about pie in the sky dream?
Well, for me, I mean, I've got my sort of selfish pie in the sky dream.
Yeah, go on.
So my selfish one is that I would love to be able to have my own workshop. So this is my dream. Probably not going to come true. Probably not even practical. But the dream is that I would get maybe a farm or a small holding or something, and in the barns, or one of the barns, I would build a big workshop. I'd have a laser cutter, I'd have a 3D printer, maybe a tabletop injection molder, all sorts of things. And then I'd also have some spare rooms, maybe little cottages or caravans or something. And I would say to all my friends, because a lot of my friends are people that make things, and I would say, the door's always open, you're welcome. There's accommodation for you, stay as long as you like, be it 2 weeks, 6 months, 3 years, bring your partner. You don't have to hang out with me at the house. The workshop's there. I would love it if you are doing your own projects, I'm doing mine, but we can still, chat every now and then. And I could be creating things. And then when I'm not creating things in the workshop, I'd be traveling to conventions and selling terrain, meeting all the nerds, geeking out, just sharing ideas and creating and traveling. And then I don't really want to be rich. I guess to have a workshop like that, you need a decent amount of money. But I don't know, a fast car or whatever, that's never really...
Yeah.
I'd rather a practical boot. But I would like the business to have money that I can do charity things. So I have ideas. There's been a lot of research in how role-playing games can help people. It can help neurodiverse people learn things like social skills, learn maths, learn empathy, teamwork. There's also experiments of it being used with convicts and people who are in prison, and helping them learn all these really vital social skills. Yeah. And it's also a place where people can kind of fail safely. Totally. So I've seen people come out in games because they've played a character who's either a different gender or has a different sexual orientation, and they've played the character, seen that it's okay, and they've kind of learnt that it's okay for them. And it's so special. And seeing, a kid that hadn't spoken, I think it was in 5 years or something, they were selectively mute, saying their first words at a table of mine. It's so beautiful, and it's such a privilege to see. And I would love to be able to do that for more people and make this a thing, and maybe fund some more research into this and teach people how to do this, so that everyone can help their friends and just... it'd be so...
It's exactly how I feel. We have such different businesses, but the core could not be more similar.
It's wild, isn't it?
And the reason that I do play with people is because it creates this safe space. It levels the playing field between everyone. You get into this kind of flow state, and so you're less self-conscious. You're not worried about what other people are thinking. You're having fun. You're socializing. You feel part of a community. You feel part of something. It just supports physical, cognitive, social, emotional well-being in such a playful and organic way. Yeah. And I think that's why I said my dream is just to be available to help people, because that fills me up as well. Yeah. It's that kind of reciprocal it's gratitude and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so special to witness.
It is, yeah.
And there's something so incredible if you do something nice for other people and you see that joy in their eyes and you know it's because of you.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like it for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We're both chasing the same pie in the sky
Yeah, we really are.
That's so cool. That's all the questions.
That's all the questions.
Wow.
Hey.
That's such a nice ending.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone's going to cry.
I teared up slightly.
I saw you tearing up slightly.